There's really great Nigerians out there, but we, majority of the time, get the worst, the rotten apples, right? And a lot of countries are banning them. But we, the great nation, South Africa, are going the other way. We're swimming against the current. When all the other countries are banning these guys because they tend to go around, a lot of them, not all of them, being problematic.
This is one of the biggest podcasts in South Africa discussing on Ramaphosa giving Nigerian free visas, but they are really pissed, man. They are really pissed and they are not supporting it. They raised many points showing us why that move Ramaphosa made was really a wrong move, was a very bad move. Anyway, let's watch the video to the end.
There's so much to unpack. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's
All right,
go,
so
bro.
SA Nigeria latest diplomatic talk sees Ramaphosa announcing new relaxed visa rules for Nigerians coming to SA. A move that has surprised many. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa announced that tourists from Nigeria can now apply for a simplified 5-year visa without submitting a passport. Ramaphosa made the announcement at the opening of the 11th session of the Nigeria-South African Binational Commission, BNC, in Cape Town, which President Bola Tinubu attended. We must also indicate that Nigeria is South Africa's largest trading partner. Your thoughts, my dog?
My thoughts, bro. I mean, Cyril, our president, says that he's making it easier for them to get visas, tourist visas and business visas,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
And for me, it's like, bro, there's really great Nigerians out there, but we, majority of the time, get the worst, the rotten apples, right? And Nigeria itself have a reputation of being very big and very heavy-handed when it comes to fraud, right?
Amongst other things.
Amongst other things. You know what I mean?
I mean, other
And
countries
Cyril-
are banning them.
Yes, a lot of countries are banning them. But we, the great nation, South Africa, are going the other way. We're swimming against the current. When all the other countries are banning these guys because they tend to go around, a lot of them, not all of them, being problematic. So my thing is, why? Then he says, we need to get more Nigerian products on the shelves when the South African business people who are struggling to get their products on the shelves. How long did it take Smooth to get his product on the shelves? How long did it take you to get your product on the shelves? If I launch your coffee, how long will it take me to get my products on the shelves?
Forever.
You know what I mean? Forever. We struggle to get our own products on the shelves. And also, how many, okay, I know they've got oil, that we probably, trade in with them. But my theory is there's so many countries, multinational South African companies that trade in Nigeria. I mean, MultiChoice, MTN,
Yes.
Standard Bank,
Yeah,
I
there's
think,
a lot, yeah.
ShopRite, right? Who employ many Nigerians within Nigeria. And I remember the one time MTN got a huge fine by the Nigerian government, like $5 billion. So I think the Nigerian government is probably trying to push this through, and their bargaining chip is threatening the South African businesses that are that side. And these businesses are just enriching whoever's in Stellenbosch, whoever owns these businesses, because let's be honest, I don't think you and I benefit a lot from Nigerians enjoying DSTV, unless, if we've got content there. But I don't think an MTN, for example, or a ShopRite, we benefit from them doing business there.
Yeah.
And I think to protect those interests, he's giving these guys whatever they want. Because surely he's heard South African cry about drugs, about that. Bro, right now, there's Black Friday. There's a whole lot of things happening, online scams that are happening,
Yeah.
and chances are there's a dude there, man, there's a boss who's behind these things. But what I'm trying to say is they've got the worst reputation. Our passport went from being the strongest passport in Africa to one that is not trusted now. Many countries you could go using our passport without a visa. Ireland. Is that how I say it? Ireland.
Ireland.
Right? Yeah, it's Shire. Ireland recently
Brazil.
just said that that they no longer are going to take us without a visa, or I think it was a visa on arrival. Now you got to apply for a visa. Why? Because every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry comes to South Africa, gets a fake passport, thanks to our corruption, gets a fake passport, goes to these countries in Europe claiming to be South Africans with our passport. Then they get there, then they get found out much later. So now what's the president saying when he says that Nigerians can now come, we're going to extend the number of visits, and they won't need to present a passport in their own countries or whatever. They're going to loosen or relax the requirements of getting into South Africa. But you guys traveled to Nigeria. How was the visa process when you guys needed to go to Nigeria?
Expensive.
Yeah,
Was it extensive?
Yeah. It was Tibla.
Fuck out of here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I
Very
can't remember. It was long ago, but yeah.
So why must it be easier for... And we don't even cause problems that side. I mean, our Wandy and them are out there giving bombs. Listen to that. How many Nigerian women do you know who are in South Africa giving bombs? Name me one. Chidima didn't even marry a South African when she was here. Chidima didn't even marry a South African when she was here. We do so much, man. They come here and they get bombs and like, nah, bro. Like Nigerians have proven the world over. And even a lot of Nigerians will agree that many Nigerians give them a bad name and we've got a lot of rotten apples. Yeah, bro. So the
obviously-
president is out of touch.
So obviously everybody's talking about this. So I got a lot of comments regarding this.
Okay.
I got one from Mapule Dlamini. He's a chiller. He says the Nigerian trade issue would not be a problem if all our borders were safe and secure. The situation would be different if the Nigerian mafia had not migrated to South Africa and if Pakistani, Somalis and others had not dominated the spaza economy. Furthermore, if areas like Hillbrow, Sunnyside, CBD, Kempton Park, CBD, Vereeniging and others were not essentially mini Lagos, the trade issue would not likely exist. UCT, University of Cape Town, did an entire study in 2017 about the migration of Nigerian mafia to South Africa. Our government has done nothing about it. So there's an article about this. If anyone wants to check it out, it's on news.uct.ac.za. Should I just read some of the article?
Yeah, bro.
It says, since the 1980s, Nigerian organized crime has migrated around the world. They established strong roots in Italy and in parts of South Africa. The move to South Africa, another country in which Nigerian mafia became established for South Africa, crime moves where there are push and pull factors in place. In addition to the forced migration of Nigerian political and economic instability, there is new booming markets and a demand for mafia services as motivates to move. The arrival of a large number of Nigerian immigrants to South Africa began in the mid-1990s as the country was undergoing its transition from apartheid to democracy. With their home country in turmoil, South Africa proved easy to enter due to Nigeria's contribution to the liberation struggle, right? And then I will continue. So that's some of the one article, right? The United Nations did an entire study of organized crime in Nigeria and all it has... the United Nations did an entire study of organized crime in Nigeria on has it spills to other countries. So there's another article talking about how cults of kidnapping are rife in SA.
Yeah.
Dude, you know kidnapping used to be a huge Nigerian
It's
problem.
huge,
It
yeah.
started in Nigeria.
Yeah.
We never had a kidnapping problem.
Yeah.
Extortion and
It was a
kidnapping.
big the Nigerian problem.
Yeah,
I've heard of
huge.
it. Yeah.
Always been.
I was watching a podcast recently, like actually a couple of weeks back. They were interviewing Davido, right? And they said, you saw that.
I saw that clip, yeah.
And he was like, he would never encourage Americans or anyone to relocate or go stay in Nigeria because of the states the country's in.
And
you
they
know?
had him, Nigerians
And they
had him.
Exactly, they had him, yeah. But he was just talking. If your own person says this, and this was an American podcast, by the way. So that's when you go back and you go, okay, even when their own people, Nigerians, are they not even just pro their country? Yes, he loves his country, but he's just saying there's just too much issues. And to be honest, it's not the greatest of places. I will not be here saying, hey, move to Africa, relocate to, or rather move to Nigeria. So even for us South Africans, what are we going to gain by this trade, honestly? Like, it just opens up with, basically, it benefits more Cyril, these big businesses, and nothing for us.
There are many good Nigerians who follow the process.
Yeah.
So why must we make it easier? There's many legit businessmen, Nigerian businessmen who are here doing business, paying taxes, and they've come in through the right means, and they've come in through whatever extensive method it is that I'd need to apply to go to the UK, to live there, and have a business there, and pay taxes there.
Some even working for South African governments.
Huh?
I'm just saying, some even working for South African governments.
Yes, there's many, man. There's many. Hey, who's the CEO? Okay, that's a Zimbabwean guy. I think one of the acting CEO, the acting COO, whatever, at SABC right now. There's been James Akuma. I've spoken about him before. I think he's Ghanaian. I'm not sure. Please Google him. He's worked at the SABC, public broadcaster. You know what I mean? We've always been open to working with foreigners who just come here and have a positive contribution to the economy and pay their taxes. Why must things now be made easier so that any Tom, Dick, and Harry, guys? But when we go to other countries, we need to show that we've got money, that we're not going to be here and be stranded.
Exactly.
We can afford our stay here. Man, come on.
It's so funny you say that because when I was in Mauritius, they stopped me. Because I'm always looking like a hobo, so they thought I'm smuggling drugs.
Yes, of course. You're always going to get stopped, bro, at the airport. You're always going to get stopped at the airport.
So as I walk in, they stop me. They pull me aside to a separate room, right? Go through my bag. They ask me, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a podcaster. They're like, okay, show us the podcast. So I had to go on YouTube, show them.
Yeah, I love
podcast.
it when they ask that.
Yeah. And then that still wasn't enough. They asked me, how much money do you have? I mean, I'm like, on me right now? Or like in my bank account? Which one? What are we asking here? They're like, on you right? I'm like, no, I don't have any money because I tap. You know what I mean? I was there for about 20 minutes, dog. They couldn't believe. Like, they were trying to find something and they were so disappointed. They didn't find anything, bro. You know? So, which was what you're saying, you know?
Yeah, and that's the process of entering any country, man, Bro, South Africa's open to anyone who does business, who's legal, who wants to do business legally. We've always been open to that. But that don't make things easier for the one country with the reputation for fraud of all countries, especially when already there's many bad examples, more bad than good in the country already that we know of.
Who's advising our president, dog? Because we were ready for December, we were happy.
Hey.
And then all of a sudden,
I don't know, bro.
it's like, these ones are too happy. How can we fuck them up?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's up. I don't know, man. Bro.
Dudu, you're on social media. What's the temperature, man? What are people saying on social media?
Hottening, bro.
No, literally the comments you read, it's the general consensus. Everyone is upset about this. And also people are saying essentially if it was Zuma, it would have been at a point where now people are in the streets like on Zuma must fall,
striking out here.
So also they're saying that Cyril is somewhat of a media darling, so to say. There isn't too much backlash.
Yeah, Stellenbosch owns the media.
Yes, remember the guys who have businesses, Nespers, that own DSTV and all these publications, they are doing business in Nigeria, which is a huge economy and a huge market. ShopRite, man, who owns ShopRite? They're doing business in Nigeria, making billions.
They're happy.
Yeah, so Nigerians are making the government a bit hostile for them to, operate properly. Now Cyril is like, I will make the waters a bit peaceful. I'll settle the waters for you lot. Yeah. But the average South African must suffer.
Fuck, man.
I mean, we can't even go places now. Our passport is shady because of there's so many fake passports out there and visas that were attained with fraudulent passports.
Bro, you stayed in Hillbro. Is it a mini Lagos Valley?
Nah, actually, Hillbro is... There's a lot of Nigerians. There's lots of everyone in Hillbro, more Zimbabweans than Nigerians, but there's a big Nigerian presence though. Hillbro is a melting pot. I think the reputation comes from, like you said, in the early 90s. Because remember, in the 90s, Zimbabwe was still fine. Zimbabwe used to be the bread basket of Africa. They were still fine. Farming was thriving, everything before, Mugabe did his things. So the first people to come through and especially be concentrated in Hillbro were Nigerians, West Africans, Nigerians. And then Zimbabweans, because they close, when things got really, really bad, a lot of them then started coming through. But it's easier for them to come, you know what I mean, as opposed to Nigerians, because a lot of Nigerians have to fly. So there's not really. I would say it's more Zimbabweans in Hillbrow than Nigerians, and then there's everybody else. There's Cameroonians. There's everybody else, and within there's like decent Nigerians who work.
And you know
like
what
guys who work, like who do Uber Eats and stuff. You know what I mean? Some guys don't bother anyone. All they do is Betway and the gambling stuff. You know what I mean? And some run the internet cafe businesses. But it's not necessarily Nigeria more than any other country.
And the sad reality, Kanye, is that no matter what you say as a South African, whatever you say, if you're opposed to this, you're xenophobic.
We're not xenophobic, guys.
No.
We're not xenophobic.
Guys, it's almost like we live in these times where you can't speak against something, otherwise you'll be labeled, the worst. It's like
PC
we
world.
have to
Can't say
just
things.
put like things aside, all these labels that we move by aside, and be able to speak honestly and just be able to look at the things for what they are. And this is a real conversation of really, guys, let's be honest. And I know of like Nigerians who are in the country who are doing well. Even this is shocking them. Like,
Is it? For real?
hey, okay.
Hey,
you know?
they've already started on TikTok. They're excited, eh? Let me play you this lady. They've already started.
Now, I think Nigerians on TikTok and social media just love to stick it up
they're
against
trolls.
to South Africans.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just love to stick it up to South Africans.
Yeah,
Some of them don't even want to come here.
Okay,
They're very
they don't
happy in their
even care.
country.
Yeah, they don't care
They're
for
living
South
well.
Africa.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
like us taking L's.
Yes.
Where's that video, man? I gotta play it for you.
They just Nigeria just loves seeing South Africans taking L's, and then our president, our goalkeeper, scores their own goal.
I saw someone say, now we're going to finish the woman.
Yeah, that's the one thing, man, that we have. I want a woman who got like, we have amazing women, man, But like,
Let's go
dude,
finish.
it's so I don't
Let's go
know, man.
finish
What is so yeah, see,
Wow, Nigeria
There you go.
didn't feel.
can
Sorry, continue.
I was saying ANC didn't feel the smack that South Africans gave them during the elections.
No. They continue.
They didn't feel the smack.
Here's the clip. All right.
Oh wow, Nigerians can now visit South Africa with ease without any stress. All thanks to the president of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa. Guys, let me tell you this good news. Today, President Cyril Ramaphosa has declared that
What force
entry to South Africa is now very easy. You can apply for visa to South Africa if you are a business person that want to visit South Africa, or you are a tourist. You can apply for your visa without your passport. They don't need your passport anymore. To make it very easy for you to enter South Africa, you don't need a passport again. It was said today, this was confirmed today, that Nigerians who are tourists, who are business people that want to visit South Africa can do that without their passport now. They can apply for visas without their passport, and it will be granted without wasting any time. And not only that, he also said that he has approved a 5 years multiple entry visa.
Multiple entry.
This is the time for you to start applying, to start making that move now before they change their mind. And this was said today, like I said, on the opening of the 11th section of the Nigerian South Africa Binational Commission, which happened in Cape Town, and our president was there. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was there. So this is actually a good news to some of us. To some of us that want to visit South Africa, and they've been delaying us long time ago. This is the time now.
The time has come. Bagamba, Nigeria, Bagamba.
It's just, I don't know, man. Like, yo.